Hey, good morning. It's me, Tiff. We are going to have a celebration video today. Yes, Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. So I'm going to write that down. Hey, if you're there, say hello in the comments. I want to hear from you. Good morning. Just waiting for a couple people to come on. I was having some technical difficulties, so I couldn't go at exactly 10 minutes, so I said, well, I'll just go with the flow. So just waiting for a couple minutes. Until then, I am going to mix my fiber drink. I'm on day 8. Am I on day 8? Yes, I'm on day 8. Tomorrow's 9, Sunday's 10, and then Monday I get to start. Yes. Get to start burning more fat on Monday. Okay, so I'm just waiting for a couple people to come on. Celebrating some wins today. It is Friday. I wanted this, not website, this video to be joy-filled, fun, and happy. And so, you know, if you'll excuse me, maybe I should just invite some people. And let's see. So I'm just going to invite some folks. Maybe they're on Facebook and maybe they're doing something else. So excuse me just a second. Excuse me. So I wanted to talk about celebrating our wins because I realized, oh crud. Okay, so I wanted to do this video very quickly today because we've got the gardeners here, as you can hear in the background, and they're going to be coming over here very soon. So I've got to make this extremely quick. There, that's who I'm going to invite today, and then I'm just asking as you come on and watch this that you share this, whatever time you do. If you're watching me live, press, put a heart emoji in the comments, and if you're watching the replay, put a smiley face in the comments. So I want to talk about celebrating our wins today, and I wanted to just encourage your socks off today with, I'm sorry y'all, forgive me there. I wanted to encourage your socks off today with celebrating how far you've come, celebrating your race that you're running, and maybe you've won parts of your race. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating and rejoicing what it is you have overcome, celebrating all the wins, all the goals, all the celebrating if your vision is coming to pass, and maybe you have dreams and maybe you're putting things to action. It's celebrating the small things, because if we keep focusing on the bigger picture and what we don't have in front of us, we tend to, it gets our focus off, and it gets us in a mode of overwhelm, a mode of frustration, a mode of like you think you have to strive to do more in order to get to where it is you really want to go and be. But in all honesty, when we keep our focus on what's not, it literally halts us from continuing to run our race. There's a scripture that I actually would like to read to you. It is in here. Oh, here we go. I read it this morning. It's in Philippians. It's Philippians chapter 3, verse 12 through 15. So it says, "Not that I have already received or already been perfected, but I press on to lay hold of that for which Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus, has also laid hold of me. Brothers, I do not count myself to have laid hold of it yet, but only this, forgetting what is behind and reaching out for what lies ahead, I press on toward the goal for the prize of the high calling of Elohim in Messiah." Yeah. So, as I read that this morning, I thought, now I have been actually talking about that in my videos. I just couldn't remember the scripture where I've picked that up from, because I'm like, I know we're supposed to, run our race and not look at what's behind us, but look at what's ahead. And so I thought, again, I'm going to talk about a little bit about that today. But what victories do you need to celebrate? What small wins do you need to cheer on? What areas have you been victorious in? We all have our, strengths and weaknesses and all that stuff, but what is it in your life currently right now that you need to celebrate? Is it losing an inch of fat off your waist? Is it losing a pound, 2 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever? Is it getting your eating habits in check? Is it landing an awesome job? Is it being able to encourage your kids and spouse when you weren't doing that before? What small wins do you need to celebrate? I wrote some things down. So when we celebrate, it's like cheering ourselves on. It's almost like instead of the negative committee, now you have the joy-filled, positive cheering committee, and it causes you to stay the course. It causes you to keep running. It causes you to stay in the game so you don't quit. That's what celebration does. It helps you to rejoice. And when you're rejoicing, you're not focused on the negative stuff. You're focused on the positive. It helps you to get more wins. It helps you to continue winning in the areas in which you set out to win in. Whatever areas you need to win in, you need to, I can't tell you what areas those are, but just think about that for a moment. What small wins have you accomplished? Victories. I sent an encouraging text to the team at the church, and I told them, hey, you're victorious. Celebrate today. Celebrate where you've come from. Don't focus on where you've been or who you're not. Celebrate who you are, who you're becoming, who you have become. As I just said, celebrating our wins keeps us in the race, causes us to stay the course and not give up and quit. It keeps our mindset right. Why? Because we are now focusing on, and it says right here, we are now focusing on whatever is true, noble, pure, lovely, things to praise, things to whatever is of good report, uprightness, right? The best, not the worst. That's what keeps our mindset right, is when we are no longer focused on the crap, okay? There's something that when you, and I just heard this the other day, and I'm just going to paraphrase, but when you move, which is action, when you put things to action, you get more wins, and then you work on the mindset. But in all honesty, keeping your mindset right is an essential thing. It's what keeps us having the right mindset and the right frame of mind. It keeps us going. That's what drives us. If we have a mindset of, oh, hopefully maybe well, I'm not sure, I want to, but, so if our mindset isn't correct, and if we keep dwelling on things that are negative and are flaws and things that haven't come to pass, we will be unhappy. We will be miserable. So, it keeps our joy. Yes, celebrating keeps your joy, man. You've got a lot to celebrate. If you're watching this video, put in the comments, man, a celebration emoji. Put in the comments, man. You've got a lot to celebrate. You're alive, for one. You've come a long way. It is so easy to sit and stare at and focus on what we think we are. And it's easy to get caught up in what we don't think we've become. It's easy to continue thinking that we are our old selves, but we're really not. We're not our old selves. Be grateful for that. Celebrate that. Celebrate who you're becoming. Yeah, as I just said, celebrating gets our focus off the tough stuff and what isn't in our grasp yet. Okay? For example, I've set out to do a business. Now I have a choice. I can either sit and get distracted and do things that aren't helping. I can use my time wisely and do the important, necessary things and follow the directions that I received the other day from an awesome person. Or I can sit and focus on and dwell on what's not happened yet, and I can continue to get frustrated and then quit. So if I celebrate what I've done, if I celebrate the wins I've gotten, if I celebrate what has happened so far, which is actually I've put things into action. My business hours are from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time daily. That's the time I put towards my business, which I just thought, wow, I actually came up with business times. I'm going to put that in the group to so they know that I'm holding myself accountable, and I'm, want them to know that I'm putting to action what they told me to do. And so I'm really, I'm celebrating the fact that I am actually getting things done and following the directions. Like yesterday, I watched a video from my awesome friend. I shared it, and she was talking about social media, social sharing, okay? And she gave awesome tips, and in fact, I wrote those tips down. And I think she gave 4, and she broke each one down, and I'm actually going to continue to watch it because I wanna get the hang of that. That's the training part of my business, so I do that right, but I have to delegate that into my business hours. But I'm celebrating the fact that I have a win in that area, meaning I'm starting to get results from what I'm putting into practice. I was pressing play on the, here comes the landscape people. I was pressing play on the video, on the trainings that she told me to press play on. But anyway, I'm celebrating small wins. And so I'm not, it's helping me to not stay focused on what's not in my grasp yet. I know that's coming. God's got something so great in store, but I have to put things into action. Last but not least, celebrating our wins helps us to carry out the vision. It helps us to complete the goals. Why? Because you're focused on the results that you're getting, right? You're not focused on what's not. So whatever boat you're in, celebrate today. Use today. It's Friday. Celebrate your small wins. Celebrate your victories. You are a reason to celebrate. Yes, you are. You are victorious. You are more than a conqueror. You've got what it takes to succeed. I hope that you know that beyond a shadow of a doubt. You've got what it takes. And every small thing that you do, let me put this back down. Okay, I've got a brief window here. For every small thing that you do, it adds up to the bigger thing. So don't think that the small victories and the small goals that you've accomplished doesn't have any meaning, because it does. Don't think that. You've come a long way. You know what? I tell people, man, you've come a lot farther than you think. Um, it but it's great how that comes to pass. So anyway, so today, celebrate yourself, celebrate your victories, celebrate your wins, celebrate whatever it is you have accomplished in life that it just makes you smile, it makes you feel accomplished. And if you're not sure, get in a quiet place, get a notebook and a pen, and ask. Ask the Holy Spirit, ask God. You don't have to be religious again, but ask God to show you, to tell you what things you've accomplished, and then write those down. You will be amazed. You know why? Because He sees more than we see. He's our Creator. He created you to do great things, amazing things. And instead of sitting and focusing on all the bad and all the negative and all the crap, don't do that. Seriously. I see so many people, it's very sad. I see a lot of posts on Facebook where people are literally staring at their problems and they're not focusing on the good. They're focusing on the bad, and then they're depressed and unhappy, and they're posting that. I'm like, really? Come on. There's got to be one thing that brings you joy. And then once you dwell on that, there's going to be 2 and 3 and so on and so forth. That's what happens. That's why celebrating and dwelling on the great things. Hey Rod, how's it going? I'm about to wrap this up because we have landscape artists. Landscape art. You know what? I'm going to bring this inside. You know what? Okay, wait right there. Okay, don't go anywhere. Don't log off. Hold on. Is it okay to be annoyed with the gardeners that come every time on Friday that I want to do a video? Is that a coincidence? Good grief. Anyway, today is Celebration Day. If you're just now joining me, thank you. Rod, I'm going to wave at you. I'm talking about celebrating, talking about wins. I'm talking about celebrating who you've become, not what you haven't become. I'm talking about celebrating the great things that have happened in your life, okay, and not focusing on all the bad stuff that has happened. Yes, we make mistakes. Yes, we have weaknesses. Yes, our strengths do overtake our weaknesses, but, excuse me, I need a drink of water. But we need to think on, let me turn it back to Philippians, okay? Philippians, Colossians. But we need to think on the things that are praisable, you know, are celebratory, right? We need to think on the things that have given us a win. Maybe you've overcome a tough area where maybe something was difficult for you in learning something, and maybe one day, snap out of the blue, you like caught on, like it was like, oh, wonder how long that's been sitting there. Know what I'm saying? And so you're like, wow, I got that, right? That's a thing to freaking celebrate. Celebrating the fact that anyone, if you're watching right now, hey, if you're watching live, put live in the comments. If you've gotten off the couch and if you've exercised and if fitness is a goal to get out there and do something, kudos to you. Celebrate that. Celebrate the small victories, because it's going to lead to the bigger win. It's going to lead to the crossing the finish line. It's going to lead to staying the course. It's going to lead to sticking with it. It's going to lead to getting more results so that you can get the bigger result that you're after. So every small win, man, every small win in parenting, every small win in being a spouse, every small win in your job or your business, everything, and you have to forgive me here, my thoughts, everything that you've accomplished to get your business off the ground, celebrate that. Everything that you do today that's an action step toward your business, celebrate that. That's a win. That's not a oh well, here I am again, yay, doing the same thing. Yeah. I am celebrating the fact that I now have business hours. I didn't have business hours, and so people would not respect my time, and so because of that, I had a lot of issues. But my business hours are from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Why? Because between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time daily, I do videos. And I learn a lot of things. In fact, I incorporate listening to personal development and growth and all that stuff, and then learning how to do something that, so I can do my business and how to do the business correctly, is a win for me. So that is why I said 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the way to go, because plus that's when I'm most productive. And then after that, I'm not available, like for business. Like leave a message me, I will respond, email, but I can't do outside 10 a.m. I can't do outside 2 p.m. Why? Because then my kids, I have a family and all that stuff. So I have to take advantage of the time I have. And yes, I do give myself a small lunch break as well, because I have to eat, you know what I'm saying? So I got to eat here pretty soon. Anyway, hi Matthew. So today we are celebrating. I wish I had some music to play, but everybody's still asleep. Did you get some? Oh, my son lost a tooth again. They start losing teeth. I think he's 10, so I'm pretty sure he has a couple more to come out. Anyway, so we are celebrating today, celebrating our wins, celebrating our goals that we've accomplished, celebrating how far we've come. And it's time, I'm just going to be real. Can I be real for just a moment? It's time to stop focusing and dwelling on all the stuff that hasn't happened already. It's time to stop focusing and dwelling on all the crap we've been through. Okay? It's time to stop focusing on the negative aspects of ourselves, our weaknesses. It's time to stop focusing on what isn't. Okay? It's time to start focusing on what is. It's time to start focusing on your strengths. It's time to, so I have a book, it's called Strengths Finder by Tom Rath, R-A-T-H. And I've had that book for a few years, and it gives you your top 5 strengths. Now you can't lend the book to anyone. You're not allowed to, because you only get one test to take per person, and the test gives you your top 5 strengths, and the test is only for you. It's for no one else. Because if you turn that down, please, because if you give them your code, they will get your strength and not theirs. And the book is amazing because it lists your top 5 strengths, and then it says what types of jobs you should get. Then it says a lot of other things. And I thought, well, that's totally cool. So in a nutshell, and then it states to focus on strengths and not weaknesses. You can work on your weaknesses on the side. But see, so many times people have it backwards. People will focus on how much of a screw up or that they think they are, or what they haven't accomplished and that they think they're this, they think they're that, and they're focusing on the wrong thing. so their strengths get buried. Meanwhile, it's supposed to be reversed. You're supposed to be dwelling on your strengths and how far you've come, not how far you have to go. And you're supposed to keep your weaknesses at bay. Know what those are. I need to just write those down and get them out of my head. And then also the amazing thing is that everyone that you work with or even know, their strengths will cover your weaknesses. That's just what happens. So maybe people are stronger in an area and maybe you're not. You realize that. So it's amazing when they move in their capability of their strengths. It's just amazing to see. Everyone has awesome abilities. Everyone was designed, like I said, to do great and amazing things. So I think I've pretty much touched on everything today. And so today I encourage you, one call to action. Go to Amazon.com, look up Strengths Finder 2.0. It's by Tom Rath, R-A-T-H. Or you can go to your local bookstore. I think Barnes & Noble might have it. Get the book and then take the test and then find out what your top 5 strengths are so you can work from a standpoint of your strengths instead of your weaknesses. And then also get out a pen and a paper today. Write down your wins, your victories, your what you've accomplished. You'll be amazed at everything that you've accomplished. Yes, you will. And then celebrate those. Don't be afraid to write a big list. Don't be afraid to do that. You're not being boastful. That's what you're supposed to do. We're instructed to write the vision. That's part of it. Celebrating your wins. Like, what have you done? You know, it can be small. Even if it's 1 or 2 things, don't worry. You still are winning. You're a winner, not a loser. You're a winner, a champion. You are a warrior, a conquering, victorious champion that is no longer going to dwell on all the crap and all the negative things and all the stuff. Guys, it's going to bog you down. Then you won't be able to operate because you'll be too focused on stuff. That isn't going to help you. So, that being said, celebrate your wins, your victories, celebrate everything you have achieved up to this point that you are watching this video, and keep celebrating. Okay? It keeps you in the game, keeps your mindset right, keeps you filled with joy, keeps you filled with peace, keeps you filled with love, because now you're focusing on the right things instead of the wrong things. And every time which gets your mindset correct, which is what I touched on. So every time you focus on the right things, it pushes down all the wrong things that you've been focusing on, and it renews your mind, especially God's word as well, renews your mind. But when you think on positive things, when you say, I am victorious, I am a conqueror, I am a champion, I am a warrior, you start thinking on those things. I am effective, I am a winner. When you start thinking on those things, pretty soon all the negative stuff goes, and then depression flees, and negative mindsets flee, negative attitudes will flee, because now you're no longer walking around like a sourpuss, thinking on all these things. So, that being said, it is Celebration Day, Celebration Friday, and go on, celebrate, don't be afraid, and I will come at you soon with a new video. I may do one this weekend, I'm not sure, but I will definitely bring one on Monday. What's today? Yeah, Friday. All right, well, you have an awesome day. Please don't forget to share this video, and I will have a great weekend as well. All right, bye.